Hi everyone. Uh, First of all, thank you very much for your support as always. So, I've decided to hop on and just have a look at all your dreams that you've posted on the unscheduled Q&A, and I will be talking about the real estate and the shifting of the real estate because our dreams are very important to us. They are the founders of our reality or the foundations of our reality. So we intentionally create the foundation of our reality in our dream world. So if I look at the different at your questions, I will give your username and then I will say have a look at your dream. So I'm not going to uh, I will look at this. So uh, I'm starting with the first one that I'm seeing. Joseph Mozingo. You had a dream about having a dream. You had a dream where there were lights and circles that were flickering on and off in a sequence and then a row of them and not at the same time. The message you got was that that I got was making time stand still, as if this was a technology and could do things without having anyone aware. So, what do I think of that? Yes, I would say that time is in itself a technology which can be an energetic technology. It also has a lot to do with the actual electromagnetic energy that that we experience from our heart energy coming forward. And based on this particular technology, yes, it is possible to make time stand still because time essentially does not exist. The only time that we are aware of is the time that is the cyclical time that the astrological elements are the planets are working on that particular time line, as well as we are essentially timeless beings having a timed experience. It's more it comes stronger forward now because of Chronos, which is also time in itself, the father of time. um, I hope this clarifies for you. I'm going to go on to the next one. Norma Cabrera. A reoccurring dream about horses, white horses, very high stairs, and walking on water. I'd say keep on going with those dreams because they are elemental representations of your path going forward in terms of your direction where you are. And yes, we are always climbing stairs and we are always walking on water. Walking on water is a representation or a metaphorical example of, as I've said before in the previous videos, that when we walk on water, we essentially walk or are in control or have harnessed our emotions. Water is emotion. Based on the uh, representation of the walking aspect, it means that I am able to walk above my emotions. I'm able to function while I'm in control of my emotions. It's also a representation with a bit of play on the uh, Christian mythology as well, where there was a reference to Jesus walking on water, and that would be the same representation as such. When you are in control of your emotional state of mind, you are also in control then of what you bring forward. Water is also words, it also represents words. The fountain that is my mouth speaks waters. Uh, I hope that makes sense to you. Good one, though. So, um, another one that I'm looking at, Earthdog. I am looking at your dream now. Uh, about so you keep dreaming about having a dream about being in a house that has a sort of hidden downstairs that's actually another house, um, a house that isn't nice to be in. So this house that you're dreaming with the hidden downstairs, Very interesting dream, and I think most of our dreams that we've been having over the last few weeks maybe has a lot to do with what is being unearthed in the explanation of what the house represents. Now, from the previous video, and it's important for you to look at the previous one, for everyone else who's joining this video or is looking at it now, please go to the previous video of the live stream of the unscheduled Q&A, where I touch briefly on what a house represents. But I will just bring it in more clearly because there was a little bit of buffering taking place. So basically, our houses that we are dreaming of, those are the real estate, not real as in REAL, real, but the real REEL estate. The real estate or the cyclical home or house that we move through can be an emotional period where we are going through particularly something specific. If you find a house, if you dream about a house that's got a hidden downstairs thing and it makes you feel uncomfortable and doesn't feel like it's nice in that house, it could also represent things that may have been suppressed, perhaps, or it can also show you things that have been repressed or suppressed in the house that the um, system finds itself in. So we are currently moving house. All of us, each and every single one of us on this plane of existence, are relocating into a new house. Now, the old house that was originally indicated by Aries, was the first house in the zodiac to represent the start of an age. An age or an epoch is cyclical or circular because of the same way time works in a linear um, explanation, analog. So you may have discovered, I'm still talking with you, Earthdog, you may have discovered that the house that we have been existing in, which was Aries, which then became Leo, which then became Gemini, etc., etc., etc. The house that we are currently leaving from is a house with a lot of sinister, dark things that might have been suppressed that are coming out. So you must look at it in that perspective, is what I feel actually from what you're explaining to me. I don't feel this is pertaining personally to you. I feel that this is perhaps more sort of universal explanation to the house that we are leaving or that we're going out of. Um, Coincidentally, if one dreams of a house, generally speaking, aside from topic now, and one dreams that one is either trapped in that house or one is leaving that house or one is going into a house. It is a formation of energy that is rooted in emotional elements. Our elements that we have, our emotions are expressing through earth, air, fire, water, and ether as the whole, the collective. And for every emotion that you express it either in fiery or watery or very grounding or very um, metal, etc., etc. So it's emotional energy tied into the physical um, elements that are the building structures of this plane that we're existing in, the matter that we're living in. And each house has either a lot of one particular element in it, either too much fire or not enough fire, or a lot of water, um, perhaps floods, perhaps tsunamis. Those are all aspects of that house that we are existing in. Collectively, in this reality, we are in the house the of Capricorn, or we are going into Capricorn, but we are in the age of Pisces leaving, going into Aquarius. So we are on the cusp of that. So we have smaller houses than in a bigger house. I hope you're sort of getting the picture of what I'm trying to explain to you in terms of housing, the real estate. not the real estate that's obviously the real estate that we're existing in on this plane. I hope that assists you in some way. So, okay, I'm looking at Marmaduke Scarlet. Have you say that you've had similar dreams, but then you say where I'd find cupboards and rooms in my houses I didn't know were there. Okay, so that explains exactly what I've just said now to Earthdog and to everyone else, that our houses are very complex. Things that might have been there that we didn't know were there, or things that we've just newly discovered. Depends on how our personal journeys are related to us as well. Our emotional and spiritual influence determines our physical expression in the emotional or internal house that we find ourselves in within the macrocosmos of Capricorn, for example, or within the age of Pisces going into Aquarius. Um, Astrology is a clock, a giant clock. The animals or the zoological representation of the zodiac or the zoo dial shows the personalities of the characteristics that we perceive. Now, I hope that assists. The next dream I will be looking at is that, oh, so, okay, the huge kitchen, all the rooms in a house, the way it's structured, all represent certain characteristics of our personality as well as our expression from our physical reality. So, what I'm trying to explain in terms of all of the dreams that I've been looking at from each and every one of you, and I think I've pretty much covered most of them, and why I want to bring it to a sort of explanation, and is that everything, well, to wrap it up in a nutshell, really, everything that we experience on an external level has its origin from an internal level. Okay, we know that. The dream reality is the bridge between those two realities. The dream reality is semi tangible and not. It is etheric and not. It can represent actual literal house that we're moving into, or an actual spiritual travel from one house to another. The elements inside the house represent our outlooks, our experiences, our awarenesses. So if you dream about a kitchen in a house, then a kitchen is where you would find in your thoughts, you let's say you like being in the kitchen, you like cooking, then it would naturally represent then the same sort of feeling of you enjoying being in that space in that kitchen, where you enjoy talking with someone about something. Like right now we are busy in a kitchen. This discussion as we speak right now is taking place in a kitchen because I happen to enjoy being in a kitchen and cooking. So it is in that process that I'm trying to explain. If you find things that are sinister in the house, if there are other elements that you do not recognize in the house, then take in mind that if you have been practicing or working through or have applied inner study of oneself's existence, of who you are, then you would recognize that some elements do not belong to you, do not belong to that house. They shouldn't be in the house. Then your view of it could then represent, what age are we in? Does the age represent things that are unsavory? Like right now, I did say that we are in the golden age. I said it a few years ago and I've been carrying on saying it. And the golden age was not a fantastic time. It represented truth coming out, a lot of truth. So we're having 2020 truth all the time thrown at us. So even if it doesn't feel comfortable to see that intruder that's come into the house, intruder fears coming into my house that I don't want it to live in my house, or the intruders that are operating at such a level um, in this age that they are intruding upon our existence as such. So, I hope that this explains to you that why I'm calling it a real estate is because it's cyclical. It is operating as a dial to see how the world operates around us and how we operate within it. This is why dreams are so extremely important. And I'm actually glad that we raised the subject on dreams. So I hope this assists, this helps in some way. If there are any more questions, please, you know what to do. Drop them in the comment boxes at the bottom. If you do not, uh, if you don't know about my videos coming up, then please click on the bell icon so that you can see it come through. And then there's another thing that I would like to share with you guys. I'm currently busy rebranding this channel. So the reason I'm rebranding this channel has to do with giving it a bit of an extra uh, upliftment to more sort of deeper discussions, more in terms of, let's say, dreams, more in terms of gifts, more historically, deeper realizations, realities. The same recipe, but just a little bit more in detail, just a bit more specific to the subjects that we address. A little bit of this and a little bit of that, but mostly to just give this channel a little bit of a stronger presence so that we can all kind of like see now what we can reference to, and we'll be able to then follow actual practical study should we choose to do this on a personal level. But this is still in the making. I'm still processing what comes to me. I do feel though that it's time for us to expand on this channel a little bit more, and that means the subjects um, are quite are important that we could discuss. So if you feel like dropping down um, commentary on subjects that you'd be very interested to know about, uh, then please start in your questions subject for brand so that we know. And I will then work on that with you. And then when we bring it up, even if you forget about it, it doesn't matter. This is just something that I'm just sharing because I'm on on the video right now with you guys. Um, but yeah, definitely more live streams with better camera because I learned that that is a frame bit bit rate issue with my streaming, so that's not going to happen again. So thank you so much for your continuous support. We are growing, we are thriving, and we are existing in a world that is expanding. And I wish for you a pleasant week ahead. Until next time, much love. Bye.